That's a load of garbage. Are we ready for our headliner? A very, very funny comic. She's a regular on the New York stage. Give it up for Helene Witt.
Yeah, let's hear it for the dog outside. They always brought him in. I love this. This is like my hair tonight. I was in the bathroom trying to make my hair look longer, and he walked in. I didn't even lock the door. This is what it reminds me of. Crowd work just that easy. Hi, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, you're probably wondering, is that the love child of Barbara Streisand and Barry Manilow? I'm not. But, you know, they're getting older, and I could never be their love child because I'm almost their age, or maybe I'm older than them. But, you know, they're rich, and they can get anything done to themselves that they want. Me, all I have is a sense of humor and a positive attitude. So, like, I look in the mirror and I go, laugh lines, not that funny. And, you know, laugh lines have 3 names. Another name for laugh lines are parentheses. And then my friend Selma said they're also called marionettes. I said, oh, great, I got the Lion King and the Avenue Q on my face. So when you have parentheses and you have a positive attitude, then you look in the mirror and you have pound signs here. Now I got these exclamation points. So I'm figuring I got pound signs, exclamation points, parentheses on my face. I'll just lay down and you can send a text message on me. But I try to have, like I said, a positive attitude. I have a sense of humor about getting older. Anybody else getting older besides me? Some of you are young, but you have something to look forward to. You know, I have something, I'll speak for myself, I don't know if there's anyone as old as I am here. I have something that people call varicose veins. They're like the colors of the rainbow. Remember when you went to school and you learned Roy G. Bibb? Well, they're purple, green, orange, red, and blue. I don't call them varicose veins. I call them a roadmap to adventure. This road takes you to the Sterling Forest. So I'll break that down for you youngsters. You know, like you do the Brazilian and all. I don't even know what that is. I got the Sterling Forest, like a synonym for gray, silver, old. Sterling Forest. And this other road takes you to the Dead Sea. And that reminds me, you know, when we were young, fast forward first, people stop you on the street and they go, I live in New York, by the way, so people stop you for directions and they go, excuse me, ma'am, oh, madam, miss, I go, whatever happened to hey, babe? You know, like, give me some catcalls, I won't complain about them. But I'll tell you a little about myself. I used to be a school teacher in New York, very tough school, right where it's always on the news, my neighborhood. The more it's on the news, the better my heart gets, because it's a tough neighborhood, you know what I mean? If it wasn't so tough, then wouldn't have any jokes. So you walk in my school building, and you know how you had school colors. What are your school colors?
Green and white.
Exactly, that's what mine were. And Sandra, what were yours? Right, those are the regular colors we have. Not my school. You walk in and there are the school colors. Dried blood red and black and blue. Teacher, how do you tell time? That's easy. How long did you have me locked in the closet yesterday? And it's sad because in 2nd grade, I mean, these girls in Mrs. Connor's class had a gang. And I mean it. This is true. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Caitlin.
Hi, Caitlin. Caitlin, it's true that Mrs. Connor's girls had a gang, and the initiation was to take the milk containers off of my class's trays. Yeah. So I named them the half pints. So I told my class, you need a name that has education, because who wants to promote gangs, right? So I said, you need something where I could teach you something educational while we name your gang. You heard of the Bloods and the Crips, right? So I used prefixes and suffixes to give them the name of the gang. So the name of the gang was the Prescriptions. You got the prefixes, suffixes, and then you got the Crips and Prescriptions, that's the name of the gang. I told them you have to be tough. You have to be tough. You have to make the blood hemorrhage. I mean, I try to motivate them. And you know, when we were young, we had the Dick and Jane books. Anybody as old as I am with the Dick and Jane books, right? Run, spot, run. See, spot, run. Well, this is how I had to teach these kids how to read. Run, spot, run. Dick's got a gun. Spot is a pit bull. Run, teacher, run. And those were the 10th graders. Really tough. So, it's not even, it is funny. You know why? Because I don't have to work anymore. I don't have to work anymore. I retired from teaching, thank you. I'm right behind here because you could resent me. I know your governor's trying to get rid of the pension for the teachers. It worries me every day. That's why am I talking about something serious when I can tell you about the fight that Jeannie and Johnny had. I'm changing their names to protect the not innocent. I'm calling them Jimmy and Johnny. They had a fight. So when you're a teacher, any other teachers here tonight? You're a teacher? Okay. So you know the dilemma. If you break up a fight, the union says we're not going to, if you break your bones, we're not going to help you if you break up a fight. But if you don't break up the fight, what would the Daily News headline say? She stood there and let them both die? So I had to break up this fight. So I break up a fight. And remember I said everything's a teachable moment? Like I said, everything's educational. So I break up the fight, and Johnny goes, "He choked me terrible!" I said, "Stop. You're not using your adverbs correctly." "He choked you terribly." Another teachable moment I had when I was teaching measurement. At PS 140, they never gave the teachers supplies, so I had to go to my house and bring 3 scales to teach the measurement. So I brought my bathroom scale, my Weight Watcher scale, and my cocaine scale. You don't really think, right in front of my cousin, I would admit I'm a teacher. I never went to Weight Watchers. I did, but I never weighed anything. I used to go to the meeting and she'd say, what happened? And I said, well, I was eating the Edie's. They had 2 for $5 Edie's, and they had the swirl one, the banana and strawberry swirl. And I said, I had to follow the swirl. So I decided that that's going to be my autobiography when I write a book someday. Follow the swirl, follow your dream. Follow the swirl. So, crazy things happen when you live in New York. Anyone else? I'm sure you don't live in New York, but anybody go to New York on a regular basis or used to? Yeah? I mean, the towns out here, let's face it, if you use their Native American real names, like Trenton, did you know what Trenton really means? Get me the hell out of the city. That's what it really means. So I go to New York on a regular basis. I do comedy there, and crazy things happen. So at 33rd and 8th, there's this apartment building, and they have dogs living there. And just like your uncle, my father used to go up to dogs, and I do it too. I go up to little dogs, and I go, "What's the matter, boy? What's the matter?" Not that there's anything wrong, but I just say that it could be a girl. But they always go, "What's the matter, boy? What's the matter?" But then I go down to Penn Station, and I run into the E train, and I'm carried away. So I see a man reading a magazine. And I go, "What's the matter, scientific American smart professor man? What's the matter?" Then I don't stop. I can't turn it off because I rushed into the train. So I turn around, there's a Hasidic Jewish man right around Passover time, and he's sitting across, and I go, "What's the matter? You won't be eating any bread for about 7 days. We won't be seeing you on the train. What's the matter?" But any of you been in the subway? I know I'm doing a lot of anybody, but I just want to know if you're related being in the subway. Any of you been in the subway at all in your life? Yeah. So the reason I'm asking is just if you've never been in the subway. So it used to be years ago when I was going to college, you didn't ask people directions because you were afraid, like they'd kill you or something. It's crazy. But now, you know why I don't like to ask directions? 2 reasons. I'm going to tell you why. One is they might not speak English, and the other reason is they have headsets on. I don't want to piss them off and make them take them off. They might shoot me then. But there's crazy things going on in the subway nowadays. When we were young, and Sandra, you used to take the subway, right? There'd be an announcer. He'd go, "Dirty, dirty Turk, get your big ass out of the train. Have a good day." Now, they've hired a woman from Arizona that's on a machine. It's automated. The trouble is, she doesn't say things correctly. So she'll say, "Grand Avenue, Newton." Grand Avenue, Newton. It's not Newton, it's Newtown High School, TOWN. That drives me crazy being a teacher. that they say Newton. Your taxpayers' dollars went for that lady, and she says Newton, and that doesn't bother anybody but me. What's worse is Hunter College. To stop at 68th Street, Hunter College. Who says Hunter College? It's Hunter College. That doesn't bother you at all, sir. This drives me nuts. This drives me crazy. And the last one is 42nd Street, Bryant Park. I've been on that train for 40 years. Well, you know, if I did the math. And I stayed in school, not like that. I mean, I've been on that train for many, many years. It's not Bryant Park, it's Bryant Park. And it doesn't bother anybody else but me. It drives me crazy. So another thing about that drives me crazy is when you watch the news and they have, like on CNN, I'm sure you can relate with this, when the words are spelled wrong, when they type the words, the captions. So on New York One, it's a local station, it said, 4 people died in Prospect Heights fire. So instead of feeling badly about the 4 people who died, I did feel badly, but I picked up the phone, I called them, I go, you wrote Prospect Heights is where I used to live in California. You wrote Prospect Heights. It's Prospect Heights, but it doesn't bother anybody. It doesn't bother you. It drives you crazy. Okay. Miss, am I keeping you up? I'm sorry. You're freezing, you're falling asleep. So, I wanted to tell you what happened when I was buying a bra. I'm not embarrassed to say this in front of the men, but ladies, you can relate to this. I go into Macy's to buy a bra, and the lady says, bend at the waist and let the tissue flow into the cup. You like that? It's crazy. It happened like 25 years ago, but I could never forget that the lady said that. And I came 4.5 hours driving in bumper traffic to tell you that tonight. Any questions so far? Well, you've been a really great audience. Thank you very much.
One more time for your headliner. Wait. Folks are going to be very happy to get the hell out of here, aren't they? Now, what have we learned tonight? We've learned if you wear a shirt that says Devils, you better have more than a handheld fan, right?